Mayáns.
Yes. Antonio Mayáns.
Der, wie er mir gerade verraten hat, 72 Filme mit Jess Franco gedreht hat und noch etliches anderes mehr. Unter anderem diesen letzten Film. Es sind sowieso hier, wie ich mitbekommen habe, Spezialisten, wirkliche Jess Franco-Spezialisten dabei. Das bin ich ganz entschieden nicht. Ich bin nur da, weil ich auch sonst mal hin und wieder Leuten hier was über Filme erkläre. Wir sehen zuerst den letzten Film, den eben Jess Franco gedreht hat, El Pereira versus The Alligator Ladies, und ich bin auch sehr gespannt. Und jetzt mache ich einfach mal in Englisch weiter, weil die Herren jetzt hier gar nichts verstehen, wenn ich Deutsch spreche. Und wir sprechen ein bisschen Englisch weiter. The last movie, El Pereira versus The Alligator Ladies. What can you tell us about that last movie? How did you shoot it?
We would have to stay here a couple of days to explain it.
Okay.
So I can't stay so long. But, well, to make it very short, Lina Romay unfortunately died. As you know, she was somewhere around 30 years younger than he was, so everybody expected her to die much later than him. But she died. And then she phoned me one night, and I thought he was going to ask me to make a film or something like that, the normal thing. And then he said, no, Lina has died, come. And I went there the next day, because that was at 10 o'clock night, and you can go from Madrid to Malaga at that time. So I went there and I stayed a couple of weeks. In those 2 weeks I found out that to get him back into life, or into living, or into anything, because he was very depressed and very bad, the only thing that you could do to him is give him make him do a film. So I went to Madrid, talked with this friend of mine, or ex-friend of mine. No, he's a friend of mine, still a friend of mine. And he said, yes, let's go and do that film. And a month later we were doing it, and that's it. And that's what got him back into the movement of the world. Right before he died, we had released the film in one place I told you about, which is Artistic Metropole, a place not like this, because this is has much more character, but because the other one is new and has 80 seats instead of less, 50, around 50 this one has. But in this place, and it was great. It was great because the people who went to see it laughed very much. They said things about it, we say 2 tits and things like that, you know, rude things, everything. They were very happy to see the film, and they liked it very much. It's a very special film. It's a very special film. So don't complain afterwards. So anyway. And then they released it in Barcelona. He's from Barcelona, I'm from Madrid. Real Madrid, much better than Barcelona. And in Barcelona they had the same thing. But in Barcelona they had a rock group in the place, and they would play the film and then stop and play something, the rock, and then go on with the film. So it was a disaster, and they liked it very much. And at the same time, besides, they were giving at the door a beer, free. So everybody who went in there had a bottle of beer. So I phoned Jess, and I told him we have released the film in Madrid. This is what happened. Then we released it in Barcelona. This is what happened. People cheered, shouted, laughed and everything. Oh, great! That's what I wanted, because my film, this film is, what is the word?
he told
provocative.
Yes.
Yeah.
This film is provocation, and that's what I want. I want the provocation, the people reacting like that. Great. Let's make another one then. Now that we have people, you know, liking our films, let's make another one. Talked with Ferran, and we will do the Vampira Night, Vampira Nuns. Nuns like nuns with, you know, like Christian and vampiras, the whole thing together. And he was very happy because we were on the right track. And he said, when you go and present it to anybody, please say, this is the first of a series of films without, finish the phrase.
Boundaries?
Boundaries and?
Made in total freedom.
Made in total freedom. And so, he was going, he was, what's it? Well, he meant that he was going to make more films immediately, a series of them without boundaries and more freedom, just like this one. And 3 hours later, he had a stroke of the head, of the brain, and 5 days later, he didn't get back his speech at all. I talked to him twice. Once he went, something like that. The second time I could only hear him breathing. He was in a hospital and then he died. But what I want you to do is to see the film happily and without things of, he's dead and so on. Nothing. Just enjoy your film and we'll talk about it later. If you want to ask me any questions, you just ask anything that goes through your mind. I'm ready to answer anything. Okay?
Yes.
And I think that's what he always did.
Yes, that's what he always did. He always
movies without boundaries and
yeah, but
freedom.
This one is more.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So if you have seen any of his films, of his other films, and you thought that they were without boundaries and so on, you will be shocked by this one. But but let's wait and see how you react. Let's see what you say afterwards.
Let's see. Und der zweite Film ist auch super. Dieser second movie is Sadomania. It's a brilliant movie. So
totally different. The Sadomania, which will come afterwards, is totally different. You will see.
But free.
But freedom.
Yeah.
No boundaries, freedom, but not so. This one has less boundaries than the other.
Fang mal einfach an.
Yeah. I've seen many. I don't think I've seen all. Probably no one can really.
Who knows that?
Because he also got the pseudonyms and stuff.
It depends on the language you think. They are different.
Yeah, I know that.
They change and they cut.
How many are there anyway?
202 supposedly.
Nobody knows for sure, is it?
Because he also he reused footage from one movie in the other movie, and then like you said, there are different countries, different versions, language version with different cuts. But in one scene has like more brutal gore scenes, but less dialogue and so. Yeah, so. From some films, there isn't one final cut that includes all the scenes.
And then they are finished.
Yeah.
The films that we didn't finish, and that we had, we did, but we didn't finish because of other reasons that don't have anything to do with the situations. But it was exciting and fun to do them. It was very exciting.
Was was he happy with the movie, with the outcome of this one?
Yes,
did he like it?
So.
Yeah?
I said so. He was very happy because it was a provocative film. Yeah. He wanted people to react. So I was asking, excuse me, I can't remember your name.
Thomas.
Sorry. And you said it before, but people mind that I'm very old. I can't remember things. So, as I was saying, what was it saying?
The provocative.
The provocative. Yeah. He wanted to make these provocative films, and this is what he wanted to he wanted to, well, there are two things which I thought very interesting, that we went once in Madrid with Golem films. In Golem is a place where they have two small cinemas. And in one of them they did 3 films of Jess in one day as a homage to him and so on and so forth. And then after seeing the film, the whole film, there was a guy, but people were asking questions. What do you think of the locotomy of the this of the when the moon and the sun clash in the middle of the center of the universe, and then you do this shot of this and that and the other thing. Oh, well, I do this because of that. And all of a sudden, one guy gets up and says, "Please, Mr. Franco, could you tell me why you show so many cats in your films?" And he said, "Because I like them. I think they are beautiful." And I realized that the guy was right. I mean, because actually, I do like cats myself. I don't like to see them so, but I like it.
It's honest.
For men, usually, they like to see a cat and everything, but we don't get to see them because women are dressed always. The second one, it's true or not?
Huh?
It's true.
Yeah.
You are dressed.
Why?
That's what he wanted to know, why. And then the second time was this, why were they not as a question, a formal question, but we were discussing about his films and his things and the wardrobe that we were going to use for the next film. I said, no, I prefer that they are all naked all the time because people like seeing, men like seeing women naked. Men, no, because men are not so interesting, but women have beautiful bodies and I think they should always be in films, they should always be naked and showing their tits and their bottoms and everything, you know, it's very nice. So there you are.
Yeah.
He's being honest with himself.
He's honest at least. I mean, other guys, they want to hide it or don't want to admit it. And he frankly says, that's what I like and that's what I do.
I like it, so it's like that.
Yeah.
With no other reason, because you know that when in my time, when I was doing lots of films, not with Jess, but with other people, in Spain, we had finished the dictatorship, and we went into, for every film had to be some nudity, and had to have, and there were always the most strange reasons to have women nude. For instance, when the telephone rang, they were always having a shower. They would come out of the shower. Always looking for the strangest reasons to have them nude. And why look, you know, waste so much time thinking, what do I do? How do I have this woman or whoever it was, this actress? I want to see her tits. Well, just show them.
Yeah.
From the beginning, she enters in the room. She comes from the street naked, and she enters and says, "Hello, how are you?" And she's already no waiting. Yeah. And the other thing, there is one moment where I'm in bed with Gisela Han is family of God. Gisela Han, we are laying in bed, not doing anything. And Andreu comes in and stands at the end of the bed and shoots us, or shoots me, I don't know which one, because I haven't seen this film. And she had to come in, shoot, and then we had to say, don't shoot, whatever, I can't remember, because I don't know. So the camera would go like this is Andreu's thumb, she would go like this, shoot, go to us, or whatever, and then come back to Andrea Guzon saying, my family did this, or whatever, I don't know. And then she would go in, boom, shoot, and then she would go. The camera would go back to this. But she couldn't help it. Every time she would go back to the I think they should have left that. Yes, beautiful. She had girls, some kind of, not girls, not girly hair, but sort of floating hair. In those days you had this. But after when things change and you say, okay.
Yeah, but it's a money thing. Companies have to put the movie back before the authorities. They have to check it, and everything costs money. Costs a lot of money.
If they can't pass this, then they can't even sell it here in Germany.
It's crazy anyway.
How much does it cost to send a film to German censorship?
It depends on what release rate you get, but usually it's about 10 to 12,000 euro.
But if you want to release now a DVD of Salomania complete, what would you have to spend?
You have to get this release, or else it's classified as like X-rated porn, so it's not really allowed to be sold in public.
Yeah,
the problem. There's no real reason to justify this now.
There's just somebody killing people and in all kinds of ways with a saw.
Yeah, but all these movies, were banned here in the early 80s, and nobody takes it back. If it's on the list, it stays on the list.
It costs to get it removed off the list, and else it usually depends on what time. Usually it's 25 years, and after that you can try to get it off. And before you have to pay even more to get it off the list and release it officially.
These are not among Jess's best movies, but in Germany they are the most popular because
they're banned. That's the thing. Because people want to see something that is forbidden.
That is that they don't. The money doesn't go back to the one who made it, but to the other one.
Which was by the Lisa film from Austria, called Spieß. And Otto Retzer, the bald guy, he was his production manager.
Yes?
Yes. And you know the old guy also, Karl Spieß, who was the head of the company, Lisa film?
I can remember,
He probably wasn't on the set, he just...
I remember that the bosses came one day or 2 days or 3 days to talk, to give us information. And I was supposed to speak German, and I did, but I can't remember them. I don't know what I was talking with. I would say, oh, that's so, yeah, Paul.
Yeah.
This is John Hughes Keaton, and he had to live in a golf course, in a hotel with a golf course. That was in the model pool. It had to be like that. And he had to have a limousine, but he never had a limousine. We never gave him one. He came in with my car, and he was very happy to go with me and to, in a car more or less acceptable for those days or whatever. And one day we went to pick him up, and all of a sudden, how do you call it? A ray? What is it? A clash or something. Rayo. Storm.
Thunderstorm.
What?
Thunderstorm.
Lightning.
Lightning.
Flash of lightning,
Lightning fell on someone. Somebody went like this to shoot a golf ball. When he went like that, we saw him. Dead. And he died. But normally he was very, very nice. I would pick him up and put him back in his place with his wife, and they would play golf again, and then in a few days they would go home. 1 week, I can remember. I don't know. I never say things. I let Ferran say the numbers because Jess never wanted me to say in how many days we made a movie. For instance, he said in 10 days we made 2 movies. He would never say that. I try not to say it at least. Jess would say, well, it took a month or something like that. I don't know. No. And I wasn't going to ruin his day for that's the real thing. Jess always said, this is always, he always says, you know, his interviews or things, me, three films together, never. Back to back, yes. But 3, it's impossible, you can't do that. Or, have we, Antonio, have we done 10 films in a year? It's impossible. Who can do 10 films in a year? It's impossible. That's impossible, you can't do it. And I would say, yeah, no, it's impossible. He was very happy. He was old anyway. So, right? Have you seen this? Have you seen him say, no? And I would say, but in this year, I don't know which one.
Yeah. I mean,
18
like
something.
1982.
You did 10. No. Those were from another year. It's not like if you had a big poster with, you know, the faces of the two.
No, that's different.
Like in the old days,
No.
you have a very reduced space to show what you are showing. No?
I don't know, you know, I'm just choosing movies, you know, and then Wolfie tells me, you know, okay, we're not showing the reel, we show the DVD. Just
yeah, well, I think that's
for the sake of
very
it.
smart of you to show the DVD.
It's ridiculous. It's still
I
ridiculous.
know there are people who say, oh, it's not the real thing because they have the texture. But most people don't realize it's the DVD.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's because they have been taught to see it. In general, in the cinema,
No.
Yeah.
but people who come here, they come to see the 35.
They have a different approach, a different thinking. That they know about film grain and
We even had
about
problems here too.
projectors.
There was one of my, that was in December. We even had a problem here too when we showed Eraser. We didn't advertise it because even Eraserhead is on the index, you know. Even that, it's so incredibly stupid.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's like that. I mean, I don't know if I was like, it was like, you know, we have this film museum here in Munich. They show old stuff, you know. Last year they had a big retrospective with Nazi propaganda.
The Riefenstahl.
You cannot.
Yes,
you cannot
not
show,
only a lot of different Vorbehaltsfilme komplett.
Ja, stimmt. Ja.
Like Nazi propaganda stuff in a cinema, you know. But you can do it if some, I don't know, scientist, some movie historian, some historian is explaining you that this movie is evil. So
Then it's okay.
then it's okay. Then you can show.
We can do this as well here. It's not a problem.
You can show anything. It's pretty schizophrenic.
If we had glasses, you know, round glasses and things like that, and said that you were a scientific.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I don't have a degree.
It doesn't matter. Just pretend.
Yeah, just pretend.
I mean, it was.
It's the first sentence I say in every introduction. You know, remind this movie is evil. So
Yeah.
now we're talking about it.
I was quite surprised that it worked out here with Ilsa, she-wolf of the SS, that there was no problems showing it.
Which is...
That's what I thought. I thought that you were...
Is it bad? Is it
Yeah,
on the index? Is it?
First and the second one.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
No, first and third one.
Bye-bye.
That was nice.
Carsten, ciao.
Bye.
Schauen wir uns noch den Film an.
Ich fürchte, Mitternacht muss ich gehen.